original. What is this?
We're gonna stay. Take as many with us as we can for the family.
I'm gonna have sex with Blake. No, you're.
Time you grew. How well do you remember the original? What is this?
So, we're gonna stay. Take as many with us as we can for the family.
I'm gonna have sex with Blake. No, you're.
Jack. Yo. Once again, we are live back in the Haunted Basement studio, and this is an impromptu live. This has nothing to do with people being here right now. This is more of a video that's going to go out so you guys can watch my spoiler review of Scream 7. Right? Hell yeah, dude. So stoked to see Scream 7 actually finally being, made to tuition. We actually got it. I'm like, there's no way. They're doing it. Everything with Scream 5 and 3, Scream 6 with Melissa Barrero and our girl Jenna Ortega, leaving the project. What are they going to do? Radio Silence still wrote the movie, Guy Busey, and they lost the director with Christopher Landon. And so, it was this up in shambles. We didn't know what was going to go on with it. And then what happens? We hear that we get a new director, going to keep the same script. The new director is Kevin Williamson. So we're going to get to that. Kevin Williamson, the original creator of Scream, of these characters, of Nev Campbell's character, Sidney Prescott, and Dewey, and Gail Weathers, and Billy Loomis, and Stu Macher, and all of them, dude. Randy Meeks and everything like that. So 7 was really in shambles. We didn't know what was going on when they fired Melissa Barrera. Come to find out that, okay, let's go ahead and give Nev Campbell her own movie. And so they back up the Brinks truck. They give it to her. She gets paid as a main actress as she should have. And then what was the movie that we got? So we put Melissa Barrero and we put Jenna Ortega out to the side, right? Their story was done with part 5 and part 6. Let's go ahead and bring the OG Scream Queen, Final Girl, back. Let's bring her back, right? Let me make sure my sound's working okay. Okay, it is. Okay, my sound's working okay. So let's bring Nev back, and and she didn't want to come back for 6 just because of the money, right? It's pretty much the money, right? And maybe the script. She wasn't the main actress in it, and which was fine because I love how 4 and 6 ended. It was its own little chapter in the Scream universe that we're building here, that we got right here. So let's get on to Scream 7. So Scream 7, it's going to be Nev's movie. It's going to be Sidney is back, baby. The Sid is back, right? Okay, and she really is. She's pretty much the front runner, the main actress in this movie. In this movie, she's going to be older, so she's going to have some children, but she's only going to have one adult child, which is 17. And so this is really going to be based on, how she was when the whole ghost murders, the ghost face murders started happening in Woodsboro, is when she was 17, right before she was 17, because, what happened with her mother cheating on her husband. And that's the reason why, this all started out. And so are they going to go back to the original? And what they do pretty much right here at the beginning of the movie is it is a damn near reenactment of the very first, not the very first scene, one of the first scenes in Scream 1 where Billy Loomis is coming through Sidney Prescott's window, and he breaks in, but comes in, it's like she hears him. This is the same exact thing that happened in Scream 1. And so her boyfriend comes into her bedroom window, but this is Sidney's daughter. So now, I just watched the movie and I don't know, her daughter's name is Tatum. Okay, so it's Tatum. So he comes into Tatum's room, and of course, what happens? The mom comes busting in, like in the first one, the dad comes busting in the door. I thought I heard a noise. I heard a noise. And yeah, okay, I've seen this before. But it's Sidney coming in. So I'm like, okay, they're giving a little bit of an homage to the original, almost like a requel, a reboot, not a reboot, but just remaking the freaking scene. Okay, I get it. But Sidney knows that her boyfriend is hiding behind the bed, so he jumps up and she's like, okay, come on, let's get the bleep out of here. You can't be coming into Tatum's room. And so that whole scene was just from the original. So I'm sitting back in my theater seat, wondering, is this really where this movie's gonna go? I know Kevin Williamson is directing it. He's got to have some influence with the writing, but this is a scene from what he wrote frickin' in 1996 when the movie came out. So maybe 94, when he was penning the original Scream movie. Is that where they're going to go? Are we just going to kind of follow the tropes of the original one? And you know what? Yeah, we pretty much follow the tropes of the original one in this one. It has a little bit of the different scenes in it. What I thought was really super freaking weird about this movie is it felt like a Scream movie. It really did. But too familiar. It was I've seen this before. They got to drop something new in it. And they do drop something new in it. We'll get into the Ghostface and Killer and Stu Macha and everything like that later. But what they did do was they had some really good chase scenes in this thing. Some really good suspenseful scenes in it. Where it was suspenseful where we got a chase scene. Let's give us a chase scene in a horror movie. We want somebody getting chased by the killer, and we do get this, and they do it a couple times. But they also throw in some other tropes from horror movies where it's just scenes we've seen before. But let's cut to the beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie for Scream franchise has always been iconic, right? For every Scream movie, the main thing, the main focus is what's the opening scene is. What's the opening scene is. Because in the original, Drew Barrymore was cast in it, and she gets killed in the very opening scene. It was a good 15-minute scene. It was great, but nobody expected Drew Barrymore, not to be the final girl and introduce Courtney Cox as our final girl. So even in a couple years ago with Scream 6, we had Samara Weaving in the opening scene. So that's a huge actress coming in and playing the opening scene. And this is spoilers from here, all out for all the movies. So Samara Weaving character gets lured into an alleyway and gets killed. And it was great cinematography in that one. So that was iconic to me. I thought it was great. How did Scream 7's opening scene stand out compared to all the others? Because this is their trope. You got to give us this amazing opening scene. And in Scream 5, we had Jenna Ortega before she became Wednesday in it. And it was an homage of number 1 with Casey, with Drew Barrymore, you know, replaying that scene. And it didn't work. It totally worked because, I mean, we're talking 20 years from 1 to 5. I'm going to be jumping around all over the place in this one. We're talking Scream right here. So, like, this is an impromptu live. So if you're here, I'm glad that you're here. But, like, I'm going to be jumping all over the place. This is unscripted, dude. I just got back right now from the movie theater to watching Scream 7. So we're talking about opening scenes of all of the movies. In part 3, Cotton Weary, you know, that was a great scene because he's like, you know, in LA, now he's all popular, he's got a talk show, he's got a hot wife, and you know, his wife's name was Christine, and like he goes there and like Ghostface ends up killing her and then killing him. Great opening scene. So now we're talking about the opening scene to Scream 7. And they show up at Stu Macher's house. It's like a Airbnb. And it's like, enjoy the Stab movies, because it's all about the Stab movies, how they're really mega about like Stab and Scream. You know, if you know, you know. And so they're going in, and like the girlfriend's not really freaking digging it. And like out of nowhere, like one of the mannequins comes alive, and then there's another ghost face in there. It is just, it's kind of like, okay. It's like, this is not an opening scene. It's like, how can we top the opening scene from the last one? It's like, how can they top it? But you probably can't, because you probably already reached the mountaintop of opening scenes. I get, and this is another thing. So we are full blown into Stu Macher household, the Macher Airbnb, Stu's house, where the original one happened, where Stab, the original, you know, real life, you know, horror, you know, that happened, that freaking crazy crime that happened there in Stu's house in part 1. And so they really want to, like, you know, tie that in. Okay, so they're bringing up Stu, and they bring up Stu a lot in this one. And so, like, I'm like, okay, I'm digging it. I'm liking where they're gonna go with it. I mean, it's because I want Stu to be alive, and I need Stu to be alive to make this movie work. I really do. We really do. So we're gonna go ahead and get introduced to some more, you know, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, you know, high schoolers getting ready to graduate, and you know, you get your group of friends, kind of like how every Scream movie kind of type of has that when it's like a reboot. So we got to bring in these new cast of high schoolers, and they were all good. The acting was great in all of this. The girls were pretty, the guys were handsome, you know, I would say, you know, so they brought in a really good cast, and we even get who is it, Mindy and Chad back, which is the core 4, you know, what's his name? Gooding and Minx, you know, they come back as, you know, brother and sister, and they're working with Gail Weathers. I'm like, how are they going to bring them back and not the Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega? Like, how are they going to bring them back? And so they actually come back working as like a camera crew. Like Chad's the camera guy, and Mindy, she is trying to, you know, be the what is it, the overseer, like taking, like, will become Gail Weathers when Gail Weathers retires. So she's the apprentice. She is definitely the apprentice in this movie. And it was cool seeing it back. And golly, I ain't gonna lie, dude, Mindy looked really, really good. Like, I mean, she looked really good. She was, yeah. Gail Weathers, you know, she's older and not too bad. And Sydney, you know, looks wise older, but you know, it is what it is. But man, those young cast of characters, they got some really, really pretty people, you know, playing in this one. But okay, so now we got to the cast. All right. We got Tatum, which is Sydney's freaking daughter. She's gonna be, you know, the new final girl pretty much in it. We got her boyfriend in there, you know, looking all like me, freaking sexy as hell. So they throw so many red herrings in this. It's like every single character has a sus to them. They're all sus. Like, it's like every one of them. It's like not like even side characters that show up for like 1 minute in the damn movie. They make it like it's a red herring, like that could be the Ghostface, that could be the Ghostface. But the whole time that they are talking about this, they're talking like this is freaking Stu Macher. Because like Sydney gets a damn phone call and it's like, she's like, okay, I'm going to record this. And it's like, she's done this a million times, you know, some fake mother bleeper over here trying to say that, you know, you're going to die, Sydney. Hello, Sydney, you know, and like, and she's like, yeah, whatever. And she starts recording. She's like, yeah, you're just a stupid bleeper, mother bleeper with, you know, some AI voice box, you know, you're not real, you know. And then all of a sudden she gets a video call on her computer. And she's like, what? And it's the same time that the phone call is going on. So she hits it, bam. And who shows up? It's Stu Macher, dude. All like cut up, scarred up. And it's Stu. It's Matthew Lillard. And he's over there like, you know what, Sydney, you know, this is time. You came from my town. I've known you a long time. And like, she's like, holy shit, dude. And like, stuff happens right then and there, not to Sydney, but like, because she finds out what happened at the Airbnb. So now we're going to go back to the very beginning of the movie, the opening scene at Stu Macher's house where it's an Airbnb. The two couples go in there and then they end up getting attacked by a Ghostface, or two of them. And they get killed. It was just like the freaking, just like the what was it? The trailer. So let's see if, let me see if I can just bring up the trailer over here. It's going to look really weird right here for the beginning, but let's see if we can bring it up. Oh, did I get, no, it's right here. It's right here. It's right here. Okay. So you got that Airbnb. It's probably coming in super loud. Hopefully the audio is coming in for y'all. And so what this is really what's happened. It's like you think this is the mannequin right here, you know, and then the Ghostface appears here in the background. So here, let me pause that. Let me come back over to the studio where you can see me. I'm sorry about this. This is how OBS works. So let me switch that back over. Hopefully that worked right there. So yeah, they go into this Airbnb right there and they pretty much just get killed. And like you seen her, like the dude is like, it's so fast and so like it's not good. Like compared to some of the opening scenes in the franchise, this is probably, to me, the very weakest one. Very weak, very, okay, all right, that's very predictable, super predictable. The dude gets stabbed. So what happens is like, the girl's not down with this whole Airbnb scream bull crap with stab shit is what they call it. And so he's like, oh, okay, we can go home if you want. She's like, no, I'll try to just play along. He's like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. And so he goes to the bathroom. He puts on a Ghostface outfit, and like he's trying to scare his girlfriend right here. And so he's the one that's coming out of the background right there, you know, when she's playing with that mannequin. And so like he comes out of the background and she gets all scared. You're like, oh, you kind of get scared too. But she punches him right in the face. Bam! He's like, oh, he takes off the mask. Babe, why'd you do that? Why'd you just hit me? He's like, oh, I thought you were going to play along. And then they go back to the mannequin because the mannequin just makes a weird move, right? It's like a quick move. And then freaking that mannequin has made a crazy move. And then they go to it and it comes alive. And it's a real freaking Ghostface. And this stabs the dude. It's like this, boom. And then he like puts his blade like right through his temple and it comes out. They do some CGI thing, but come on, come on. We don't need that. It was a little bit over the top, maybe way CGI. Let's get but like how he just got stabbed. Like we could have made it more suspenseful, but they didn't. It was like bam. So what? Oh, here, let's get the suspense going on with the girl. So she's like tries to run out the door. She can't get out, and what does she do? She runs upstairs. Of course, we got to have that though. So I'm down with that because that's a Scream trope. Why aren't they running out the front door when why are they running upstairs when they could have just be running out the front door, right? We love this in this. This is it. Okay, I'm feeling meta. I'm feeling like, the original one, okay? All right, this is kind of be cool. And it's like, she goes upstairs, she trips and falls, bam, hits her head on the stairs. And she tries to go again. Ghostface is trying to grab her, fall on her. And then so she gets up to the top of the stairs and then she jumps on the fucking chandelier, right? And like, she's trying to get away. Ghostface like tries to jump and gets her on the chandelier, but he falls and lands, bam, on the hard concrete floor. Not concrete, but hardwood floor. Bam, and he's just laying there. And we've seen this shit in the trailer, right? We've seen this. Probably the trailer's super cut up, but let's go back to the trailer, dude. Let's see if we can go back over here to the trailer. Let's bring where are we at? We're on this one, right? Okay. Right here, running upstairs. Bam! He falls down on the ground. She's swinging right here. And then what happens next? Exactly what happens in the movie. They show you right here in the trailer. Bam! He turns around and she lands hard on his knife. Okay, let me get back over here. I don't know. I'm pretty sure my voice is coming through on that one. So, but yeah, so you see what I'm saying? So like what we've seen in the trailer is so far what we've seen in the movie. Like the trailer totally tells you the whole movie. If you watch that 2-minute trailer, you've already seen the movie. The only thing that you don't know is like who is the killer. Man, we're just getting started in this some bitch right here, man. So man, was I excited? Am I happy about it? A little bit. Just a little bit. I'm like, okay. The opening scene was all right. It was the weakest out of all of them to me. But we're in Stu Macher's house. Okay, we're talking about Stu, and so we're going to jump back to where Sidney gets that phone call, and it after the killing here in Woodsboro at Stu Macher's house, he burns the whole house down at the end, or who the Ghostface does. And that's why in the trailer he's like, I'm going to burn this whole thing down. So at the very beginning, like the whole house goes up in flames and Ghostface is walking away. Really cool shot. I mean, really cool shot. If it was what they fucking led us to be, who the Ghostface was, because we're going to be getting into more hardcore spoilers right from here on out. I know the movie's only been out for a couple days, but I can't hold it in me, and you can always be watching this thing on the rewind. So now Sidney gets that call from freaking Stu, and it's Stu, and he's like saying, I'm coming back for you, I've known you this whole time. And so she's like, there's no way, man. And they like end up trying to investigate that if Stu's alive, and they find out like a paper trail that like his body is, we don't even know where he's buried at because the person has like freaking retired that would know. It was like they just giving you all these red herrings. And the whole time we have like this group of teenagers, 18-year-olds, all red herrings, every single one of them. The kid next door, his mom, the boyfriend, we got a couple friends, and then Mindy and Chad show up with Gail. It's like, and then when Mindy and Chad show up with Gail, they're like, yeah. So what happens? What happens is they get attacked in their house. So there's a scene where freaking this was a good scene. I did like it. They always have a good like after like the first scene after the opening, like the big kill in the opening scene. Then they always have a little bit of a buildup. This is a formula, y'all. If you haven't realized this, watching all the Scream movies, we have a formula that we follow. We have a opening scene, about 15 minutes long, but this one was shorter, which is supposed to be really, really good and get you jacked up for the next scene that we're going to get right now. This one was okay, the opening scene, but the second scene was pretty good because now, like, Ghostface is in her town. He tells Sydney that I know that you're not in Woodsboro, you're not in New York. You know what happened, and they bring back like New York, part 6, a couple times where Sydney wasn't a part of. Even Gail brings it up that like she wasn't part of 6, so they're like really bringing in like this is a fan service. Like if you really know all these movies and you're following Scream and you love them, this is a really big fan service film because they're even telling you like they don't tell you behind the scenes shit like, you know, how Melissa Barrera pretty much got fired or her contract didn't get renewed. Same with Jenna Ortega, her contract didn't get renewed. You know, they kind of bring up hints like that in there so you kind of understand what's going on with this movie. So it kind of tries to make it more meta or whatever they, you know, these young kids call it these days. But so after the whole opening scene, Sydney gets the call from Stu Macher saying, I'm coming to your town. I know where you live and blah, blah, blah. I know Tatum is your daughter and all this. And so like, so the kids are at school, like after school doing a freaking play. Like in part 3, you know how they did like a play in drama class or whatever. And so they're practicing this play, right? And the teacher is all pissed off because they're not doing it right. So like, you guys got to stay afterwards and practice your lines and all this. So teacher leaves. And so like and you see this in the trailer, and I don't think it's in this one, but the girl's like suspended from a trailer, like in a bungee line type of an elastic line where she can like fly like back and forth because they're doing a play. And so of course, you know, they're practicing this shit. Who shows up? Ghostface shows up, slaughters the dude that is freaking running the line that the girl's on. And then now she's flying back and forth because Ghostface is fucking manipulating it. You know, she's like, stop it. And then he shows up as she's going back and forth. And as she keeps on going back and forth from the thing, he's using his knife and is slicing and dicing her, where the final slice goes right through her intestines, and freaking intestines go everywhere. And right when that happens, freaking Sydney runs in because she knows that her daughter Tatum is there in the auditorium. And she sees this happening. She pulls out her gun and tries to shoot him, but he gets away. He does. He gets away, and we find Tatum, and they make it back to their house. Okay, there's some other kids that got killed in that auditorium. So it's the trope, the opening scene, and then we get a big scene with all the kids. So it's a little bit more ambition, which I like. And a few of them end up dead, you know. But Tatum gets out alive. The boyfriend gets out alive. The best friend and the creepy one from next door gets out alive. So now we're down to like 4. We got Tatum, we got the boyfriend, and we got the hot black girl, which is their best friend, and we got the creepy guy from next door, which the hot girl and him kind of like they have a thing for each other. I'm like, okay, all right, here we go. But what goes on next? And so freaking Neve Campbell, you know, her husband is Mark, but it's not Mark Kincaid from part 3. It's a different Mark. It's that I can't remember his name, the other actor. But he's her boyfriend, and he's the sheriff of the town. Of course, why not? Let's make him the sheriff. And they're having like renovations in their house too, which is always kind of weird to me when they do that with a movie. So like to set up the scene, we got Sydney, her husband Mark, which is a sheriff cop, packs a gun, and Sydney's packing guns, dude. And then you got Tatum in this house being renovated. So you're like, maybe like one of the, you know, the workers that are renovating the bottom of the house, the garage or whatever, could be Ghostface. So they're throwing red herrings here, left and right, dude. but since Mark is the sheriff of the town, he has his officers sweep the house. And as they sweep the house, they make sure it's clear. Okay, we're clear here. We're clear there in the living room. We're clear here in the bedroom. All right. You guys are good to go. The house is cleared. They go in. They're like, let's bleep and pack. We're getting the hell out of Dodge right now. We're not staying here. Get your backpacks, get your clothes. We got to freaking leave. And as they're packing, the camera scans up to the attic door. Come on, dude. This is where we're getting into ridiculous zone right now, The attic door, and an attic door slowly opens, and who comes out? Ghostface that slowly slides out of the attic, dude. He was hiding there the whole time. The cops couldn't find him because the cops are incompetent. Come on. This is a horror movie, dude. You know what we're talking about. But still, like, as a big Scream fan, like, I'm telling you, like, what I'm thinking through this whole time. It's like, I don't know, man. This is kind of cliche-ish. This is like, this isn't good. This is lazy writing. But I'm here in the movie theater, and I'm trying to enjoy my my beer that I freaking bootlegged into the movie theater because, man, I got to watch this thing with a little bit of alcohol just to keep myself sane right now. Come on, we've seen this before. But anyways, can the scene work? How it's set up is irrelevant because it can be a super setup how they didn't see Ghostface in the attic, and now he comes out when the family's there all alone, But can the scene live up to that easy freaking writing that they did? And it does. It does. The scene's really good because we get Ghostface holding a knife. He's got Tatum, like, bam, knife up against the throat, and Nev, Sidney and Mark are right there with guns, and he's like, put the gun down. He doesn't say anything. They just put the gun down. But they end up like overtaking him. They get him. It's a great fight scene. This could be the scene where they're in the there's too many scenes. I might get them mixed up, but there's one where like no, they all get away. I think pretty much. I'm trying to think real quick. Hold your second. Let me think real quick. This might be the scene where they have a fucking safe room. Like, what? I mean, I would imagine Sidney Prescott having a safe room where she can go lock herself in and nobody can get into. And I think that's what happens. So they get into the safe room. And this was pretty good. It's intense. But she's like, she tells Tatum, stay here. I'm going to go get help because I have a back door out of the safe room. And Tatum's like, there's no way you're freaking leaving me in the safe room. I'm too damn scared. The killer's out there. You're going to leave to go get help. No, she's like, and then Sydney's like, okay, come with me. And so they squeeze in between the walls. So between the safe room and the walls, they can there's a little hidden passage they got to walk through. Not walk through, they got to shimmy themselves way through. But Ghostface hears them in the walls, and next thing you know, he starts stabbing the walls left and right. Bam! Bam! And they're like, oh, knives coming in, barely missing them. They end up getting out, and then Ghostface is following them through, cause they get out through the garage, and then what happens is they're running, but then Ghostface gets hit by a car, in the middle of the neighborhood. So out of place, this random. And who's in the car? It's Gale Weathers. Ghostface is laying there dead on the ground. Man, end of story, right? No, but we're only 30 minutes, 40 minutes into this movie. So this is the very first time they're going to unmask a Ghostface middle of movie. And so this really gets you thinking man, how many Ghostface are there? How many is Stu Macher actually running a cult of Ghostface and is sending all these killers out, trying to get the job done? And that's what it really felt like, because they actually go over to the Ghostface and they rip the mask off of him. And it's some dude that was in Sydney's coffee shop just today. So earlier in the show, like, she goes to work, after, she doesn't know what's happened with the opening scene. And she has like this coffee shop, a lot of workers there. Like, she's the owner of it. And like some guy gave her an evil eye, like a, a mean mug look to her. And then she's like, that's the guys from the coffee shop. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Now I'm starting to think like, okay, well, what am I getting into? What is this movie? What is this movie? She rips it off. It's him. And then like, then she goes and looks in the crowd and all the cameras there, and she's looking. She sees like the teacher, the drama teacher. Like, that could be him. It's a red herring, They're playing all of the music score from the original one, so it feels like the original one. They're trying to build up all this tension here with these two scenes, because everybody got out alive on the second one, and a Ghostface has died in this one. It's like, oh, is it over? But no, she's Gail's there, and like, so Gail is like, let's fucking finally do like an interview with me and you. Let's sit down, because if this is Stu Macher, because they're believing it is Stu Macher. And so I think before they have their interview, they find out the guy that the Ghostface they just killed got ran over by the car by Gail, that one that chased Tatum and Sydney into the safe room, chased them through the walls, and killed the kids fucking in the auditorium. So they think, there's always two killers. And so they find out this dude's identity, this Ghostface, and he's from a psychiatric, what? I'm like, it's going off. A ward, a freaking insane psychiatric ward. And that's where they go. And so when they go there, we run into like a freaking orderly, and it's Ethan Embry, the actor Ethan Embry. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, Ethan Embry, dude. The dude from like Can't Hardly Wait. And he was in that one really cool horror movie in like 2018. I can't remember it right now. But so I'm like, oh, Ethan Embry. And like, they're asking him about the Ghostface they just killed. They're like, oh yeah, he was crazy and stuff. And then they show him a picture of Stu Macher from the AI. Like, well, they think it's AI, but they don't. But it's from the video calls that Sydney's been getting. And so Sydney's like, do you recognize this person? And the orderly Ethan Embry is like, oh yeah, that's John. Oh, John had amnesia. Like, they found them wandering the streets of Los Angeles, and he's been here, ever since. Well, where's he at? Oh, he got released 2 weeks ago. Wait, so like when he said that is Stu Macher, I'm like, okay, so now Stu's alive. But did they just pull a fast one over us? Did they just want us fans, hardcore fans, to be excited that Stu is alive, and this is our, vindication that Stu is alive right here with what Ethan Embry is telling us, the orderly from the hospital? I was like, ooh, shit. I kind of got excited. I'm like, yes, let's go, let's do this. This needs to be real. This needs to be real. And so, is it? I don't know. You got to wait till the end. You got to wait till the end, man. Let's see what's going on over here. I think I got some people up in here. I told you this was an impromptu live. This is so I don't have to do a crazy edited video. I wanted to be able to talk real with y'all. So, so where are we at? We were, yo, what up, Mr. Easy Go Lucky? You're good. Your shit got retracted. Yeah, we're just, we're talking a little bit of screams, a lot. We're talking a lot. So where are we at? So, they go to psych hospital. Someone tells them Stu's alive, and then they're like, holy crap, dude. So then like, they go back down to the Pine City or something where she lives now. It's not Woodsboro. And you know what it is? It's time for lockdown, y'all. They're locking the city down. It's the town that dreaded sundown is what's happening next. So, we are going to get into the final part right here, but I must take a quick 2-minute break because I've been ranting like crazy. And it's all good because this is an impromptu live. So, I will be right back, I promise. Right back, I promise.
Time, group. How well do you remember the original?
What is this? No. We're gonna stay. Take as many with us as we can for the family.
I'm gonna have sex with Blake. No, you're.
Time, group. How well do you remember the original?
What is this? No. We're gonna stay. Take as many with us as we can for the family.
I'm gonna have sex with Blake. No, you're.
Time, group. How well do you remember the original?
What is this?
Yo. Okay, so let's get back into some of what the trailer was showing us so we can get back on track here. Where is it at? Yeah, this is where she gets the phone call right afterwards, and what happened in Woodsboro. She's looking over there, and I love this town here, Pine Grove. That's what it is. And there's Tatum right there, looking good, and her friends. And so, and this is when she gets the call from Stu Mocker, and she's just like, "Wait, what?" And then this is the attic part where he comes out of the attic. We already talked about this, so I want to show you that. And this is exactly what happens in the movie. The safe house, the safe room right there. You know, they're going through the walls. I mean, the whole trailer tells you what the movie is. Because I'm watching this, he's tapping the walls. It's a pretty good scene. It's a little bit longer, you know. They get away, you know. He's stabbing away. It looks like Halloween part 4 or 5 with Jamie in the wall. So, all right, we'll pause it right there and let's get back over to me. You guys see what I'm talking about right here, right? You guys, let's transfer this over. Bam. I don't know if that worked. Maybe you're not seeing it. I don't know. It's probably not fucking working, dude. I have no idea. But anyways, Anyways, so let's see. We got some chat going on here with Mr. Easy Go Lucky. Let's see what he is saying. Bring him up. Live right here. Just wanted to see if you should go see this in the movie theaters. I don't know, man. Yo, what up, Kenneth? How you doing, dude? But yeah, I mean, if you're a hardcore Scream fan, you don't want to know any spoilers, I would definitely go see it in the movie theater. I guess it is one of the weakest ones for me. I think it was just a little bit, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna rock this out. So let's go ahead. We're already been going a little bit of a long time here. So let's jump to the ending. So like, the town is on lockdown, dude. The town that dreaded sundown. So let's lock down. Let's have a curfew. The kids, they decide that, like, you know, we need, with Mindy and Chad, they're like, we know we got to figure out who the killer is. So let's get all your friends together. Let's meet up, you know, somewhere. They meet up at this like pizza, really, like this pizza bar, which is awesome. You know, a bar that serves pizza and it's closed, it's locked down. The really cute black girl, you know, she, her parents own it. So she's like, okay, we got pizza, we got beer and everything. And so Mindy and Chad are trying to, you know, give the rules, or Mindy is trying to give the Randy rules, but Chad stops that right away. But we kind of trying to figure out who could the killer be, because one of them's got to be the killer. And so, but what happens? The killer freaking shows up. The killer shows up over there. So at this time, this is when everybody splits up. So you got the teenage 19-year-olds, we're gonna call them. They go to the pub, the little bar, the pizzeria that the little hot, sexy black girl owns. And Gail and Sydney, they go to like the freaking TV station because they're like going to do an interview, because they want to draw the killer out, because the killer won't be able to stand, listening to them on TV being, broadcast nationwide. That he's going to call Sydney during this interview when it's being broadcast live on TV, while Mark, the husband, is at home. He's staying at home thinking that Tatum is upstairs safe, but Tatum snuck out and went to the pizzeria. So that's where we're at. So we have Tatum and her friends at the pizzeria. We have Gail and freaking Nev, Gail and Sydney at the TV station, and Mark at the house thinking Tatum's there safe, but Tatum's gone. And then he starts hearing noises, and already know what's going to happen, dude. Freaking, he gets attacked by Ghostface in that construction area in the garage where there's all sorts of plastic coming down from the walls and stuff. Really good, intense scene. They really try to bring the tension up in this, which each attack from Ghostface. And in this one, damn, and we seen this in the trailer. We seen where Mark gets attacked multiple times. Mark's dead. We'll stay to the end. Maybe he pulled a Chad. Maybe he pulled a Dewey on us. But so he straight up gets attacked by Ghostface, gets stabbed, gets blindsided from him. And so as we're watching this, pretty much Mark is a goner. He's a goner. And the shit is about ready to hit the fan here, because the main cop's gone, the dad is gone. There's Ghostface out there. Now we got two core groups separated. And then during the interview here online, online on TV, they go to commercial break. And when they go to commercial break, that's when Stu calls. And Stu calls and is like taunting freaking Sydney the whole time, saying that this could be when he has, I don't know. I might be mixing the storyline up, but you already get the point, dude. So, back at the pizzeria, a Ghostface is there. he starts freaking picking off these 19-year-olds left and right. He goes and like, who's he stabbed first? It's like they want to get out, but they can't get out. And so the creepy dude and the hot black girl, they end up getting freaking killed. They get stabbed. They get stabbed a couple times, and they kind of like die in each other's arms, which is poetic, which is kind of cool. But it was like super fast. They can't get out of the pizzeria, but then they can get out of the pizzeria, and then they make it so Tatum and her boyfriend make it to his car, but then Tatum opens up a laptop, and it shows like her boyfriend acting like Stu and like converting what he's acting like talking like into the camera, and the AI is converting his face into what a Stu Macher would look like. And so like she looks at him like, she's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, I was just trying to see how easy it could be to manipulate that type of video. And she's like, doesn't believe him, and like smashes his head with the computer and then takes off. And so now Tatum is separated. Sydney like took off from the freaking it's wild, dude. It's like everyone gets separated because Sydney takes off from the news broadcaster, left freaking Gail Weathers there by herself. We got Tatum by herself, the boyfriend that could be Ghostface in his car by himself. We get Chad and Sydney. They're freaking in the pizzeria, and Chad gets stabbed again. Same with Sydney, and like we never see him again. It's like, so like we're getting into like the very ending of this. Like all these people have died or maybe dead or assumed dead. Chad and Cindy, they are like, they never come back on screen again. And that was really weird because we're getting into the final act. And I guess the final act has to be nothing to do but with freaking Nev Campbell, dude. Yeah, no worries, Unknown, dude. I know this is only a live for spoilers, and I don't expect a lot of people to be here. This is for something on a rewind after you watch the movie. But I can't do this a normal video on this one. Look how long I've already talked about this movie. It's almost as long as the movie. We're going on 50 minutes right here, dude. And we're getting to the very end of the movie right now. So weird that Chad and Sydney never come back after the pizzeria. So you don't know if they're alive or if they're dead. They seem that they were okay. Like they just kind of got some flesh wounds, you know? So they're probably okay. But it's like, golly, man, this is like a Scream movie that... It's a Scream movie with a little bit more intense in it. But it's like, oh no. Like, this movie can be amazing if they just... We got to see Stu Macher walk up on them and take off the Ghostface mask, and it's him. Now, that would make this movie amazing. But did that happen? I don't know. So, Sydney makes it back to her house, okay? Because Tatum's supposedly there. Like, Tatum's there, and the Ghostface actually, finally this time, got her and brought, you know, freaking her daughter back to her house. And in a phone call, Ghostface says, you know, you got to go where home is, where you love the home or whatever like that, like home sweet home type thing like that. Don't bring any cops, you know? And like Sydney's like, all right. At this time, Sydney and her daughter don't know that the dad has been fatally wounded, you know, in the garage, in the construction area. They don't know that. So Sydney makes it back to her house. And then when she walks in, we see this in the freaking trailer. There's like TVs going on and off. So what we see in the movie is all these AI, I guess you can say AI, but videos of past Ghostface killers. First, it starts off with Stu Macher, and he's just mocking her, like, saying all this stuff to Sydney, you know. And then Billy Loomis's mom comes up, And now she's freaking on all the devices, all the screens everywhere, confronting her, mocking her. And then Roman shows up, her brother from 3, and he's mocking her, blah, 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 all that. I wish we didn't get Jill. I wish we would have got Jill, because Jill is favorite Ghostface from part 4. I love Jill. But no Jill. But then Stu comes back up, right? And then it was kind of weird because I saw in like the red carpet premiere of this, I saw freaking old Billy Loomis there, but Billy Loomis never showed up in this one. So, and it was weird because it happened at the end. I knew that Roman was going to show up. I knew some of the old ghost faces was going to show up. And I'm like, oh man, this could be a cliffhanger, because we haven't seen any of those characters yet at all. And we're in the final act, dude. We're in like 10 minutes to the end. And bam, didn't they all finally show up? And I was like, oh no. And then like, ugh. The ending. Who are the Ghostface? The whole time they were saying it's Stu Macher. And he hasn't accomplished. And so like when, honestly, I was so like over it at the end. I can't even tell you like how it actually ended, because like they get them both like together, and then of course they're gonna reveal themselves, and then one Ghostface reveals himself, takes his mask off. Spoiler. It's Ethan Embry from the freaking the psychiatric hospital, the one that says that, oh yeah, they showed a picture of Stu, and that's John, and he was, homeless in Los Angeles. So he's one of the Ghostface. He was on screen for 1 minute out of the whole fucking movie. 1 minute. This guy is one of the Ghostface. And right then and there, I'm like, okay, well maybe Stu is pulling the strings. So maybe I'm like, okay, I can take that. But the other Ghostface has to be Stu. And then the other Ghostface shows up, and he comes walking slowly up, and you see his face slowly illuminating from the darkness. And they even say, oh my God, it's Stu. And he's like, yes, it's Stu. And then when they take the fucking mask off, it's not Stu. It's the neighbor with the creepy kid. It's the blonde neighbor from the creepy kid, which was a red herring from throughout the whole movie. And I'm like, oh, she's kind of suspect. But it's actually her, and it's not fucking Stu Macher. So what they did in this movie is said, fuck you to the fans, dude. You all the fans want Stu back, be the killer, be the mastermind, be the Ghostface killer of the franchise. Like, have this cult of Ghostface is what all the hardcore fans wanted. And what did they do? They fucking teased us through the whole movie. They teased us through the whole marketing. What? Oh my God. I can't tell you how freaking disappointed I am of what they did to us. They just, they scrutinized the fan base. Like, they put a middle finger to the fan base is what they did. Because it wasn't Stu Macher at all. And the whole movie they're saying it is because that's what the fans want. No. Then give us what we fucking want. Let me see fucking Matthew Lillard take off that mask and him still be alive. That's what they need. That's what they need to do. But they didn't do it. It was a fucking guy. I love Ethan Embry as an actor. He's awesome. And I Can't Hardly Wait. And there was that fucking great ass horror movie that he was the dad of. But in this one, 1 minute of showtime, 1 minute. That's all he was there. And then the blonde girl, so the blonde girl really chewed up the fat. Like she really did. When she took off the mask, that ghost face, like she did a Timothy from part 3. She really fucking chewed up the screen and like came crazy and was like, so I dug that. I dug that part. But you don't sit there and bait and switch us through the whole fucking movie, through the whole marketing, that Matthew Lillard is alive and he is back as the cult of Ghostface, because that would have made it perfect. Dude, if Lillard would have walked out and would have been the second Ghostface and pulled that mask off and it was him, this movie would have been a 10 out of 10. But since he didn't, this made this probably the worst movie out of the franchise. I'm saying it now. This is below 3. Below 3. They just fucking wanted your money and they knew what they were doing. The studio fucked up. I am super pissed off, dude. Yeah, when it goes straight, we'll see what happens. But I'm telling you, it's going to go to streaming super fast. This movie is not going to make its money back in the box office because of word of mouth like me. It was fun. It was a good chase movie. But the ending and the execution and the marketing over it is, they fucking fooled you. They fooled us. And I don't think I can ever come back to that. I don't think I can ever forgive what Scream did with Scream 7. I don't think I can. Because they knew the fans wanted Stu Macher back. And they put him in the goddamn advertising. They put him in there. They put him in the movie through the whole movie. That it's him. Oh, let's pull a switcheroo and make an unforgiving killers. Unforgiving. Like, I don't know who these guys are. Why do I care about her neighbor? It makes no sense. She went crazy. She said that the neighbor said, oh, I killed my husband because of the book that I read and I got away with it. And so now I'm going to take your place as the final girl. No, you the story led nowhere. It was bullshit. Fucking bullshit. To be honest with you, this is the worst Scream movie alive and they should never make another one ever again. I'm done. Rip it off. I'm done. That's how much you shit the fucking bed. How much you shit on the fans. This is what I'm trying to say is like the fans of horror. They love these movies. They love it. They love it. They love it. Man, we're watching videos about it daily. And this is what you give us? You just said fuck you to the fans. The fans wanted Stu Macher alive. You're like, okay, well, they want him alive. Well, let's pretend that he's alive, but he's not. And that's what you did. You're just fucking milking us for every penny that you can get. And I guarantee this is going to be the lowest fucking grossing Scream movie because of what you did. I'm talking to you, studio. You could have definitely made this way profitable if you just would have made Stu behind everything, but you didn't. You just put the tip in and see what it did. Dude, us horror fans, we will not forgive and we will not forget this at all. Because what you should have did, or you're like, oh, okay, let's tease them. No, you can't fucking tease us with this one. Because if you're going to make Scream 8 and you're going to make Stu alive in that one, it's gone. The pot's already boiled over. It's too far in between. If you're going to fucking put Stu alive, you put him alive in this one. We cannot wait for another fucking movie. Especially when you can't get your director figured out because everyone's quitting and the writers are quitting and the producers are quitting and everybody's quitting. You're fucking trying to milk the fans for the money that you can and not give them what they want and what they deserve. This is absolutely bullshit. This is fucked up. You gave fucking Nev Campbell her fucking final movie and it was bullshit. It should have been pseudo old time, not some fucking stupid fucking neighbor. And the whole time, the neighbor's son was a red herring. The neighbor's son was the one that was supposed to be killing because he loved podcast, murder podcast shit. You know, true crime. And he dies in the pizzeria. And it's the fucking mom. And the mom says like, oh, he was so much like his dad. I don't care about him. What? Horrible. Oh my God, dude. I would rather have at least the fucking kid and the mom be the fucking killer instead of fucking some Joe Blow from some fucking psych act ward, you know, some psychiatric ward being the fucking killer. They fucked up. This movie fucking sucks. Compared to how great some of the chase scenes were and how intense it was, the whole overall story, fuck you. A two. I walked out of this movie realizing that, like, I will never go see a Scream movie in the movie theater ever again. You know how sad that is for me? You know how hard that is for me? You know when a great franchise finally dies. That's what this was. The franchise died. God, dude, it could have been so much better. I mean, I'm like really passionate about horror movies and especially these franchises. I mean, like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love the Rob Zombie films, and of course Scream. Scream is, you know, classic, you know, Ghostface, you know, we get, you know, Terrifier and stuff like that. And when we see them, you know, run their course in real life, because we've been there the whole time. I mean, we're talking 1996. We're in 2026. What? You know? 30 years, man. I'm talking 30 years of experience with this franchise. And I don't know how, like, this movie even got greenlit. I don't. This could have been called something else and have a different, like, killer in it, a different mass face killer, and then it would have been good. But when it comes to Scream, like, oh my God, dude. And I'm not gonna really, the directing on it with Kevin Williamson, he did good. I think the directing was good. I just think the overall execution of the movie was, the writing was fucked. It's like, come on, dude. We've seen this shit in Scooby-Doo so many times. Come on. Why are you giving me a damn Scooby-Doo fucking script for a Scream movie? You have these great characters. Let's make one final kill. Why did they do they should have just did a cliffhanger with it. Simple as that. You know, make Stu alive, make a cliffhanger, or bring, like, you know, at the very end, do something where he's still alive, or there's another Ghostface out there, but they didn't. This fucking movie ended on how every of them, they all ended the same way. Except for 6. I mean, 6 was good because it was like, I'm done with this. Like, 5 and 6 was great. That was it. Guy Busick, who wrote this one, no. We're gonna do this. Bam! Backhand you. You got 5 and 6, great. 7, no. Bam! You're off it. You're off the script. You're off the fucking script. Give me somebody else. because what you did was uninspiring, unintentional. It was not good. A fucking 2 out of 10. The worst Scream movie ever. Fucking 3 is better. And I can't believe I'm saying 3 is better than this, but like, I'm just so disappointed. I am so disappointed in this, dude. Thank you, Mr. Easy Go Lucky. Oh my god, I want to like cry a river, dude. Like it. Oh my god. Okay, that was it. I hope you watch this movie, and if you like it better than I mean, there's good points in it. There's really good spots in it that are really good. I like it. But the overall execution for the whole franchise, I just think that we'll never, ever see a Scream movie again after this one. This one put it in the bank. It really did. It really did. All right, man. Wow. I was not expecting to go that long and be that emotional, but like, wow. 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 All right, man. Normally I would do this on another channel, but the other channel's got 3 strikes almost, so we're gonna put this one on this one. You guys keep it Haunted Comics, and I love you guys. Scream.